Ebro in the Morning, Laura Styles Rosenberg, and the latest Brooklyn stick-up is taking place. Uncle Murda stole Mad Skillz' whole life.
Why you do that, man?
You just took it.
How you gonna do a year-end wrap-up? You know that's Skillz' one thing that he does every year. How you gonna come out with one?
First of all, I heard he wasn't doing it no more.
He did.
Right?
Did he do one?
No, he did it this year.
But I heard he wasn't doing it no more.
So you feel like, I'm the one that should take over.
And you know, that's my type of lane anyway. When I start thinking about the yearly wrap-up, I start thinking about, I talk like that, but I really go, you know, I get a little deeper with it than Mad Skillz would do. Like, I'm the guy that brought y'all Do Something that we had on Funk Flex mixtape. So I talk reckless. So I was thinking about this year, and there was a lot of things that happened. Like 2014 was kind of live. And I was like, it was real live. So I wanted to talk about it from my perspective and how I see things, like for real, no beating around the bush.
So,
no
but you
corners.
do take responsibility for taking his whole thing.
Of course, it was a jack move.
But it is
a jack move.
But you are doing a different version of it.
Yeah, I'm like I said,
he does have a different kind of commentary.
True.
To it.
I narrate different.
Yeah, that you guys are different voices.
Listen,
definitely.
Listen, when I heard it happen, Brooklyn Keeps on Top. I was like, here you go.
Ebro was on the phone laughing
year in wrap up. Let me get that out.
He said this guy waits his whole life for this one time of the year to come out, you know, from under that rock and shine, and you just want to come snatch all that away from this man.
Now, but by the way, but y'all are also really down talking Mad Skillz, who has
he writes for a lot of people.
He's got his checks from. He's got his checks from places.
He's known for this.
Well, that's because for whatever reason his making new music rap career sort of went away, except for that. Everything else he does is writes, he DJs, does parties and stuff like that. But you did Jack. It was a Brooklyn stick-up. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Mad Skillz and salute to him.
But Brooklyn keeps on taking it.
All right, look, see? That was positive. That was positive. It was very nice. So give it up for Uncle Murda,
salute to Mad Skillz, man. It's all love, man.
So now, Murda, you're back in the news, all right? And this time it was...
It's the Hands Up video, yes. Where there's a scene where you and Mano are holding a gun to a police officer.
Yeah, well, it was an actor in the video we did. We had him dressed up as a police officer, and me and Mano was holding a gun to his head in the video.
And the Police Benevolent Association came for you.
Yeah.
I'm hearing CNN is calling you now.
Yeah.
The Nassau County Jail was coming out. You shot some of the video there.
In the jail. That was actually another video that they was pissed off about us shooting in the jail. And apparently some of their officers was in the video, so that's why I had them a little pissed off about it. But
hold on, how does that even happen then? How do you get inside the jail and shoot a video?
They got approval to get inside and shoot the video.
Money runs the world, so it's like at the end of the day, if you pay to get in somewhere, the jails are trying to make money too.
You're not required to show them like your treatment or what exactly is that you're shooting.
Not at all. Like 50 done shot movies in that jail and
everything
for his
rule.
series Power.
They changing that rule.
Yeah, they try to make me look real bad behind that. And I wasn't even the guy that rented out the spot on the news. They keep saying, how do you rent out the jail to a guy named Uncle Murda and things of that nature.
I want to know how you felt. There was a lot of heat because the video for Hands Up, the still of just you guys holding the gun to the cop came out. And I felt it looked kind of bad. Yeah, like given this climate at the time, without context. Do you know what I'm saying? It felt like it looked a little crazy.
I felt like it just was like, it was kind of making a statement saying like, what if we decided to react this way instead of making music or instead of protesting? Like even in the video, me and Mano didn't shoot the cop in the video. We could have easily acted the whole video out and shot the cop in the video, but we didn't choose to do that.
But do you feel like you're past though? Because I know that part came up as part of the conversation. You have a history because of your lifestyle where you've had real life instances with police officers.
Yeah.
Dude, they bringing that up now.
Yeah, they bringing that up, talking about attempt murder on the cop I had. They was bringing up Mano Pass, talking about him doing 10 years and things of that nature. You know, I guess trying to just assassinate our character because the record we made, Hands Up, is a positive record, by the way, produced by my guy, Reefer, right here. You know what I'm saying?
Reefer, how you doing, sir?
ATM, you know what I mean? ATM Group, produced by Reefer. And the record is not a negative record saying go do anything to police of that nature. I said some harsh lyrics that they try to point out, things like for Mike Brown and Sean Bell, a cop got to get killed. But I also
But
said
now 2 cops
like,
did get killed.
Right.
Bro.
So then, how did that feel? How do you take that when you hear about Officer Ramos and Officer Lou? How did you feel?
I didn't feel good about it. It didn't make me go like, yes, I'm happy that, you know, 2 cops got killed. Of course, they got families. I feel bad for their families as well and all that. But it's the same way. Like, I want the police to realize that we human too, though. Like, have some type of feeling when you do make a mistake, you know, or let them pay the price too. Whether it's charging with manslaughter, anything. Don't just be like, it's nothing. There's no type of justice or nothing. They just get away with it. Clean slate. No, that's not how it's supposed to go.
I will say this, and I'll go on record with this. My expectation of police officers is high because you have a badge, you have a gun, you wear a uniform, your salaries are paid by tax-paying people. You know, Murda, I consider you a friend.
Definitely.
But my expectation of you is not as high as that of a police officer. I mean, just keep 100.
And
you're
why
a
is
rapper.
that, though?
Because
Why
you're
is
a
that?
rapper with a criminal past. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do expect police officers to have remorse. I do expect police officers to not do petty things like turn their back on the mayor at someone's funeral.
Definitely.
I do expect police officers to not wear "I Can Breathe" T-shirts.
Definitely. That was so disrespectful.
I expect that type of behavior from people who are petty and immature. And I guess that's the part that upsets me the most. Uncle Murda putting out a video with Mano, who Mano has a criminal past as well. I'm like, listen, guys, they come from the street. They live this lifestyle, right? It was a lifestyle that they, unfortunately, the path that they took, right?
Help us to where we at now, but
you was able to turn that around. You make money doing something else.
Definitely.
So now people, what's interesting to me all the time is how a lot of times we expect artists to have this moral compass more so than we expected from politicians and police officers. I don't expect that from you.
Definitely.
I expect somebody with the name Uncle Murda, right, to make a video that is probably politically incorrect and going to upset some people.
Things that's really going on in the streets. Like, that's what's really going on. That video was what's happening in the streets on a day-to-day basis. Some things don't even make the news or the media, and things is just happening in the hood that you might not never hear about unless you know somebody from that neighborhood. But of course, when you hear me give my music or my videos, I'm going to give you what's going on in the streets. That's it. I'm not here. I'm not trying to save the world, but I'm going to show you what's going on.
The tone of that imagery you feel represented how people were feeling.
Exactly.
In your world.
It did.
So do you feel like people want to have violence against police officers? Do you feel like that's the tone?
I think it's getting to the point where we getting fed up for nothing happening. Like, even from the projects I'm from, pink houses. Last month, a month and a half ago, a cop killed a kid in my projects, said it was a mistake. I mean, like, that's just it.
Now, that cop was remorseful, though. That cop was very remorseful.
He was remorseful, but...
And got punished, right?
I don't know. He didn't get indicted or nothing yet. The case is still, I guess, he ain't going to court yet. So. And, you know, my thing is, like, you know, you'll say a cop like him was remorseful or was a mistake. Coming from my neighborhood, people be put in positions where it might be a mistake. Somebody might shoot somebody by mistake, or certain things beef, or they might not mean to take it that far, and they make a mistake. They wish they could take it back, but it happened.
And they can't take it back.
And they can't take it back. They can't go in the court talking about how remorseful they feel. Or
and you feel like a police officer can take it back.
They would let the cop get away with that. Because the first thing that came out your mouth is, but that cop was remorseful. You know how many kids from the hood be remorseful or wish they could take back certain things they did, but they can't. They lose a lot of time in their life behind them walls in them jails.
That was a very real sentiment. That was very good. That was
very well done.
That was very interesting.
I'm learning, Ebro. I'm learning.
That was very good.
You've come a long way, sir.
I have.
You come. So after you made this video, okay, and now you catching some attention from it and some heat. Do you wish you wouldn't have done it?
Not at all. I love the attention, and I just wanted the record to stand out and people to really listen to the record, and that's what happened. We got a good response from the record on social media. It did great. It got to all Washington, Philly, news, all these CNN people. It did great. I'm just happy that message got across. They could try to take the negative things from the gun images that the cops had, but as long as they got to really listen to it and really see what's going on, they gonna get it.
So you got people's attention. That's
exactly. Even when I did the news interviews and all that, and they was pointing out certain things, and then when I come back with certain things, they have to respect it. When they say say, yeah, but y'all had guns. I said, that's just a video. Everything else around that video was actual real footage of people, young boys in cuffs getting punched, police punching ladies in the face, choking every garner. I said, that's real footage. What we did was act like we was going to do something to a cop and didn't even do nothing to him in the video. But everything else you seen happening while them still shots was being showed was actual things that the police was doing. Absolutely. Those was facts.
What if now they try to, something happens with Uncle Murda and they try to use your past and say that your lyrics are things that you're still doing? Because you know that's happening around the country a lot.
I know.
A lot of these prosecutors are moving. They have prosecutor unions.
Yeah, free Bobby Smurda and the whole GS9.
They're moving against rappers telling these stories in their songs, saying when they wanna pin something on somebody, they're saying that he said it in his song that he would murder somebody or that he carried this gun.
I mean, it happened with Bobby Shmurda very directly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now that happens to you.
They have to lock up the whole industry though. If they're gonna do that, because if they got to come for Hove, they got to come for Nas, they got to go for Ross, they got to go for Jeezy, they got to go for Troy Ave, they got to go for everybody, because we all talking that shit. Excuse my language, but
that's fine.
Yeah, but we all talking that talk. So if it come down to that, they got to come for everybody, and they can't do that. I mean what they can do with what they want, but I don't think they're gonna go that far.
But it's not the established artists necessarily. You know, Shmurda had one song.
Definitely.
They came for him because he was still hanging around individuals from that, and they would been watching him for 2 years prior to the song even popping.
Yeah.
And he had friends that was in that just got out and the whole thing.
They said that they say that the famed line, "Caught a body about a week ago," is based on a shooting that had happened.
That's allegedly, man. Free Bobby Smurda, man. They just trying to.
I'm not saying I believe it's true, by the way. I'm just saying, think about like that. What that would mean if they're in fact drawing lines like that. That's a crazy thing to be happening on a regular basis to artists.
I don't think, my man Rod Diggs just went through that, in the feds and all that. They tried to use a lot of his lyrics against him in the case. I just don't think that's fair. I don't think you can prove like what a rapper said in his lyrics and try to charge him with a crime or say this is his past, or I don't think.
But I will tell you this: if there's an artist out there, you know what, you mentioned on the song that you were friends with Earl Hayes, right? You said
I was friends with Earl Hayes, yeah. I did a song with him, man. Rest in peace to Earl Hayes.
I got to tell you, it was very weird to me when I read that article, and it said there was a song that he put out where he talked very directly about killing his girlfriend. I'm not gonna lie, that didn't make you feel a little weird?
Yeah, no, that definitely did. Because when I read that myself, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
So that's the thing. So in some situations, I think it's ridiculous, but then it's a case by case. Some I think are like.
And Earl Hayes is the one that killed the
VH1 star.
VH1 star.
Definitely, yeah.
And was on Mayweather's label.
Mayweather's team, yeah.
He was crazy. You know him like that? Something's wrong with him?
I knew Earl Hayes like way back. We were signed to Rough Riders together. Way back in the days. He from Detroit, Michigan, right, Coach? From Michigan. So I knew Earl Hayes way back. He was cool as hell. He just was a dope rapper. I mean, he actually jumped in one of my battles back in the days, like my first battle.
A little emotionally unstable, probably, right? Which probably contributed to.
He was what I didn't know the Earl Hayes that did that. I didn't know him for that. Like I never seen.
You never saw that he was a wild dude.
I never seen that in him.
Yeah.
I just saw a dude that was real passionate for music. I never seen the other side of it.
Well, Uncle Murda's here. We talking some real talk. On the Bobby Shmurda thing.
I got a video with him coming out too.
Bobby say you got to collab with him.
Yeah. Me and Bobby Shmurda got a video coming out in a couple of weeks.
I was also told, and I'm gonna ask you this because you've had run-ins with the police, real ones. You've done time, right?
A little time, not like that. Yeah, I got lucky.
I was told that it from people who were on the scene at the Bobby Shmurda studio that when the police went in there that day, they tore up all of the businesses, kicked in doors of like the entire. Trying to get to the studio. Damn. And when they finally got to the studio, right, they found everything that they found, the people there, and everybody's in handcuffs as they search the walls and the ceiling, tearing everything up. And one of the individuals there who had, helped, I guess, Shmurda's deal get put together was told by the police, "Oh, you're the one that helped these kids get out the hood. And you're the one that put money in these kids' pocket. We're gonna come see you too eventually. How dare you help these kids?" And I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it was that tone.
But that's the day, and they said that to us?
That was the tone. In your experience, because we all know, look, there's 35,000 cops on the NYPD. There's bound to be some assholes, right? And there's bound to be people, and you know, cops say inflammatory things to get a reaction out of you, just to get you to get emotional and make a mistake. What is your personal Uncle Murda tone towards police officers now at this stage in your life?
I really try not to even have no type of communication with them. Like, you know, when they do approach me, of course, I try to be aggressive because I feel sometimes they could recognize you being weak, and
you feel like they may take advantage of
you. Yeah, they abuse their authority when they see that you're not willing to fight back. But you know, not saying that always work, because it ain't always work for me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but I like to let them know I'm not scared. I know my shit, and if you're gonna take me, take me. But if it's for nothing, like, you're wasting your time. But if you're gonna take me, take me. I don't want to answer no questions and none of that. I don't want to really do no
So you don't have, there's
that.
no police officers in your world that you cool with, that you know, that you
There's some cool
are cordial
cops.
with?
There's some, I see sometimes the hip hop police, they try to, you know, make the rappers feel like, hey, all cops ain't assholes. You know, they try to show you a little love sometimes when they see you in front of the club. So I'm not gonna sit here like every cop is bad, but the ones that abuse their authority need to get dealt with just like a regular person that break the law.
Interesting.
That's it.
Ebro, how do you respond? How were your interactions with police officers compared to?
You know, if they say hi, I say hey. You know, I don't really have a lot of interactions with them. You know, every now and then be like, yeah, we listen to the show. I'll be like, thanks. You know, of course, hey. You might get one of them PPM meters. Rock that meter while you in your patrol.
You don't go through the negative aspects of.
Well, I'm sure they've ran my plate a number of times and ain't nothing on it. Gotcha. You know, I'm sure they know where I live and they ain't nothing to be found. You know, I'm sure they've checked my files and there's nothing in them. So they're probably like, he's a square.
See, but I know, for example,
leave him alone.
I know you don't have no problems with the police.
I don't see the no. My police interactions are very friendly. It's like I see him in 7-Eleven. What's up, guys? How are y'all good? If I see, the way I look at it is like this, though, and my relationship is completely different. I'm white, so I don't get hassled by police. But when I see cops, if they're in my neighborhood, see, this is what's so backwards, and honestly, black men couldn't even relate to this idea. If I see cops in my neighborhood, I'm like, good. I feel that means on this block, in this moment, I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about people running up on me and
definitely not like that where I'm from.
No, exactly, at all. So when I see cops, I'm like, what's up, y'all good? All right, see you later. Blah, blah. If they listen to the show, that's awesome. I'm thankful like anyone else, of course. But what I was going to say was, so I don't really have many interactions. When I'm driving, never do I get stopped in New York. Speeding doesn't, never have been, I've been stopped for one illegal turn in Manhattan ever in my life. But Syph, I know, would be a good example of someone whose approach is the exact opposite of Murda's, right? Murda's.
Oh, I'm the same as Syph.
Syph is windows down, keys on the dash. Yes. He might put his hands out the window.
Yes.
He wants to make it as easy. He is submissive. He's like a dog rolling over on his belly. Like, you can scratch me. I'm good.
Yo, I put my windows. I put my windows down, car and park, whatever. I don't have no problem with none of that.
So why the difference though? Why do you do it? Why is that your approach?
That's my approach because I don't want no problems, and I know they can start problems, and I got somewhere to be, man. I ain't got time to be fucking around with y'all.
So you think it's the fastest route to ending whatever it's gonna be?
Listen, I don't.
But that's not how it's supposed to be, though. It don't. You know, these supposed to be guys that say to protect and serve. So you don't supposed to feel like you got to be all like. I agree. Take my keys and put my hands.
Okay,
out.
devil's advocate.
That's a problem. That's wrong right there.
Devil's advocate.
You being the devil.
Me being the devil. Exactly. Exactly. Me being the advocate with that. So, and because someone said this to me recently, because the funny part is I literally am playing devil's advocate because when I'm around other white people and adults, people older than me,
y'all talk crazy to the police.
I'm always arguing this point though about how fucked up things are the police do, and they're arguing the other side. So now I'm switching sides. So when police officers pull someone over, even if it's for a tag, whatever it is, at night, let's suppose the cop is a good cop doing his job. He saw someone doing some shady shit and he wants to make sure everything's cool. The second they get out of that car, their life is on the line. I mean, that part is real.
Yep.
They approach a window, they don't know what the fuck is going to happen next. So we do have to look at it from that perspective. Now, that doesn't justify fucking anything that's happened recently. But I'm just saying, in terms of that interaction when someone approaches your window, I do understand your approach because it's like, I'm going to make your job super easy. Don't think you're walking into a situation where you need to worry. This situation, lights are on, you can see me, I'm good. Because that is a scary situation. What if the person's a murderer who's on the run and you happen to catch them for a taillight and they're going to start blasting the second you walk into the car? I'm just saying.
Look, they live in that space.
But at the same time, you chose to live in that space.
Definitely.
Which is why they can't come off being assholes to regular people who aren't
their authority.
Right.
They can't be shooting people by mistake.
I think what
I agree.
The ideal situation, which we're I think and unfortunately some time away from, is people understanding both sides. What you're expressing, right, is us looking at it through their lens, and what you're expressing is them looking at it through your lens.
Definitely.
And I think the problem is, and you have individuals like the one that turned their back on de Blasio, who refuse to look at it through the civilian lens.
And you know they don't get it. The ones that turned their back, you know those are the ones, those are the problems right there.
You're right.
Those are the racist cops that just don't.
You don't even have to go that far. You feel like because you signed up to do a job, right, and it was your choice, that now all of a sudden you're entitled to something that is yours, when really it's the other way. It's ours.
Definitely.
I pay your salary. I employ you.
And when I say racist cop too, don't think I'm just talking about white cops, because I feel like you got black cops out there that's racist, you got Spanish cops out there that's racist, white cops, they all like, it's like when they get the badge, they forget that they're actually a human, or they treat us like we not human.
And also too, it's a class thing, right? Because they're patrolling low-income neighborhoods,
exactly,
and they're emasculating and treating the men in those neighborhoods
like we really nothing. Like they feel like we are nothing. You come from the projects like Pink House or something, they feel like them kids out there have nothing to live for.
It's also the disconnection with the community that they're patrolling also, because a lot of times they feel like they can install fear in you. It's easier for them to do their job.
But it's funny, this concept is around the world. When the United States is in different countries, as we always are, like Iraq, for example, for the last decade and a half or whatever, there are battalions that are out there, and the way that they decide they're going to handle being in a certain area in Iraq is to be friends with the community, because ultimately they're on the same side as the people. So they don't want the people to be scared of them. They want to be friends with them. They want to give them cigarettes and hang out and talk and be like, yo,
so they can find out when somebody's coming that might try
because
to
we're trying to protect
off.
each other. You're a good person, so are we. We're on the same page. Then there are other people, and the captain or whoever the fucking sergeant is or whatever, the way they handle shit might be like, no, we don't fuck with anyone. We assume they're all bad.
Yeah.
It's just the way you believe you should handle human beings, man.
Definitely.
And that's why this whole issue comes around to respect for other people and care for life.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, in bad neighborhoods where you have people standing on the corner selling, smoking, it's 2 in the morning, and cops is like, yo, what you really doing out here? Oh, we just hanging out. Fam, you just hanging out?
But some people are just hanging out, right?
Some people are just hanging out.
Some people do, but some people don't be really having no choices, Ebro. I mean, not the you know.
No, go in.
Yeah, not to try to take up for the dudes that's out there doing certain things, but the opportunities be limited out there, man. Like,
but keep in mind,
look, my projects, look, Cypress, right? That's across the street from my projects. I used to hang out there as well, right? And it's like they used to have a library in the projects, and I always feel like, then that's a good thing. You know, I see little kids go there after school, whatever.
You went there,
and I ain't go there. I'm not gonna sit here in front like I was in the library. I wasn't, but it was cool for the community, for the hood, and then. You know, I see them tear the library down and put up a probation building in the project.
Very real.
It's like, are you serious? Like, you take the library away from kids,
because they are criminalizing. They're criminalizing those people
building
because they're criminalizing. They're criminalizing those young people and those low income people fast and quick, so they can get them into the prison industrial complex. But the reason I bring up the people standing outside, hanging on stoop, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, hanging out, they're teenagers. Yeah, I want to go out and hang with my friends. My friends, unfortunately, happen to be moving things.
Definitely.
So as a teenager, unfortunately, you live in a neighborhood, you have cousins, you have brothers, neighbors, whatever, who choose paths. And it sucks that you have to be the one to be like, yo, I can't hang out with y'all. Oh, you's a fucking dork. Oh, you square, what, you can't hang out with us because we are, fam.
Peer pressure's a motherfucker.
And that's the shit that goes down where it's like, yo, I was just hanging outside my building, right? It was 1 in the morning. What's happening at 1 in the morning? I was like, we just teenagers. We having a good time. Just like normal teenagers would do. But in this particular neighborhood, your choices are limited. And now you have to make decisions that could basically make or break you.
Definitely.
Right? Because you live in a neighborhood where at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, other shit is happening. And if you ain't associated with that, you shouldn't be out there, and that's fucked up, but it's real.
But that's one of the things I've seen you express frustration about regularly with even the situations we've dealt with in the Mike Browns, the big situations. All those situations I saw frustrated you, not only because of terrible police behavior, but because of situations that you thought this could have been avoided from the beginning. You're like,
right, because my thing is always go to the beginning.
You don't interact. You weren't going to be in any situation in which you were arguing.
Why you
with
was talking to that cop?
Definitely.
Don't talk to them.
Definitely.
Period.
Yeah, but you don't always know the outcome of a situation.
Fam,
You can't.
listen, I'm telling you, know the outcome.
Well, and you're saying
you said, but I think just because he talked to them don't mean that they got a right to shoot him.
Of course not.
Things go left.
No,
but here's the thing.
If it go left,
I'm talking from the perspective of we can't
just
control
period,
it.
You wouldn't have
control
did it
yourself.
From the beginning. Got
control yourself, because that's all you could control out here.
That's what Mayor de Blasio was talking about with his son Dante. It's like, if I had a kid, if I had a black child, and I was like trying to tell you to survive, I can't tell you can depend on the cops be good to you. I would say what you're going to do is make sure you never get in a situation where you're going to have to interact and they even have the opportunity to fuck with you.
Because what you're
and
saying,
that's fucked up.
What you're saying, Murda, is we shouldn't have to be that way.
You're right.
And
you're right. And everyone agrees.
Definitely when our tax dollars is the one that pays these guys.
But guess what? It's been that way for a long time.
Definitely.
And at a certain point, we're going to have to be like, yo, we're looking out for our best interests. And when I say, all right, I'm not talking even just black people. I'm talking whether you're from a low-income neighborhood, whether you're, white, black, Asian, Spanish, whatever you are, right? I think a lot of times, while it's unfortunately disproportionately and unfortunately, a lot of black people live in low-income neighborhoods.
Definitely.
And that's why a lot of crime and happens
in these neighborhoods.
in us, right? But we that are low-income in America, where it's all about money. It's all about money.
It is.
That's all they, just like you said in the beginning of this interview. If I got the money, I could go to the Nassau County Jail and film, because they want to make money too. And when you live in a low-income neighborhood, yes, too often they're looking at you like you don't matter. Is that wrong? Yes, but it's real. And we're going to have to start dealing with real instead of sitting up waiting for things to be fair and righteous and right, because that shit is bullshit.
Definitely. It is.
It ain't fair. It ain't righteous. It ain't right. And they don't give a fuck about you. As you could tell by them tearing down a library and putting up a probation center.
Building. Definitely.
That's code for we don't give a fuck about you. We actually don't even want you to stay here.
Definitely.
If you choose to stay here, guess what? This is what it is.
We don't want you to educate yourself.
Period.
We want you to look up to these guys that's already done got in trouble. No education. Look up to the criminals that's going there. That's what we want you to be surrounded by.
Okay, I'm going to push the conversation a step further.
Keep going.
So then why in our culture, hip-hop, do we choose? We have the right to choose. And we still put up criminals as who we should look up to. All of us do it.
All of us. And I'll go before you jump in, I'll take it a step further. That's an American phenomenon.
Oh, yeah, it's true. True.
Mobsters.
But the impact, I would argue, is worse.
The Kennedy family.
But the impact is worse for hip hop because the kids who look up to it have less options.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's shittier circumstances.
It's the music definitely dictates a lot. That's why it's about just, the right guys got to get sometimes the proper light, because
your name is Uncle Murda.
But at one point, didn't you want to change your name?
My name, I did want to change my name, but even with my name being Uncle Murda, I'm a dude that people from the streets gonna want to listen to. I'm a dude that they could say, all right, cool. And that's from everywhere, from New York to Atlanta to LA. Yeah. The streets rock with me. Okay. I'm a dude that they want to listen to, so I'm gonna give it to you real. How it is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. Even when I talk about things like the yearly wrap up or to do something or most of my records, I give you what it is. I'm trying to really get back to my fans, and just give the people what it is. When Jay-Z was coming up, he was giving you his life. When Big was coming up, he was giving you his life. When Nas was coming up, he was giving you his life. And that's how we fell in love with these artists, the Tupacs and them, because they gave you that real shit.
So what are you saying right now?
My thing, I'm saying
that's your life, and you telling it like it is.
I'm telling you my life.
But then people would say that
you're
glamorizing something that you grew beyond, right? Like, cause you still live in pink houses?
I don't live in pink houses.
Where you live at now?
Not in pink houses.
Although I will tell you, Murda's kind of a bad example because in my opinion,
why am I a bad example?
No, I'm defending you. Hold on.
Okay,
He ain't gonna slap you. Chill out.
No. But no, that's just not the point I'm making. Because besides his name, I don't really find your messages to be that negative. To be honest,
it's not.
But even the people you named, Ready for the Blasphemy, Biggie talked about his life. He also propped up criminality. Facts that were not his life, that were beyond his life, that were fantasy. Same way Goodfellas is fantasy or Casino's fantasy.
Everybody
but that was a big part of it. It wasn't all. Same with Nas. Nas Escobar. I'm sorry. When was the Nas was a huge coke dealer part of his life? He was rapping from when he was 16 years old.
We you know, as rappers, of course, we gonna give you some of our life because they gave you their life as well. Things about, you know, mothers and things.
Of course,
they gave you the real shit. But of course, we fantasize about things.
Well, because it is, you know what it is. What it is when you come from a bad circumstance, you want money quick and you want it fast, and you want to come up fast and you want to go far, right? So the fantasy of the mob mentality or
is the fast money,
is the getting the money fast and getting a lot of it and living a fast life and go and make or break. So that's where the fantasy comes from, right? Is just living that life of like trying to get out of here as fast as I can.
Everything is not about the money. I promise you. Like these records I'm about to put out, and I'm gonna really need y'all to like go hard.
I mean, they better be good, man.
These records is great. Like the records I'm
working
with. Like, listen, with my guy ATM right here, with the whole ATM movement, me, Cooch, White, Riz, Reef, we over here working in the music. I promise you, it's like that yearly wrap up is just like a little tease of in the hands up and things that we giving you real music. And we got a record that's called It Ain't About the Money.
Really?
That you still gonna vibe with because everything ain't about the money.
Because the funniest thing is that I just did me, Mr. Hip Hop Dude. And I just did my countdown of the 40 best songs of the year. 2 of the songs were called It's All About the Money.
And of course, we all want the money, and that's what we here to get and all that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to real life shit, it ain't about the money. And I think certain things like that be missing from the music.
Did you have to learn that though?
No, I didn't have to learn that because I grew up without money. So I knew what it was to still have family and love in your peoples. It wasn't just about money. It was just about holding each other down. Yo, you hungry? Here, take a piece of my sandwich and things of that nature when we didn't have it. So I know it's not all about the money. Of course, we want that. We want to do better for our families and shit like that. But it's not all about the money. And the music that we about to, like, I promise you, bring to the game, they're going to respect it and love it. This GMG ATM movement going to be so serious. Like,
I like where you at, man.
My guy, Reef, he produced records for, he done work with the Puffs, the Rick Rosses, records for the Biggie shit.
He going to make you sound like something. He going to make you sound like something.
The sound is sounding beautiful.
So you have a more positive message in these records.
He did all the records that y'all been hearing now. The Hands
wrap
Up
up
record.
Don't
he
skip
did the
over
wrap
what
up
Laura
beat.
just
All
asked
that.
you.
I didn't hear what Laura said.
So I said, are you going to have a more positive message in these records?
I'm going to have a real message in these records because I'm not from a positive place and we're not living in a positive world. It's definitely not positive, but I'm going to give you the negative and the positive because there's a mix. So everything is not all good, but it's not all bad neither. So I don't got to just glorify the bad.
Right.
I'll give you a little bit of everything.
Isn't it so funny too that you have these songs literally called It's All About the Money, and no shots to Troy Ave or T.I. and Young Thug, but like,
and I love those records.
And they're fun
Shout out
records,
to Troy Ave
but it's so inaccurate.
I love those records.
But it's so inaccurate, and they know it's inaccurate. Like money, yes, money.
Are you saying let the truth get in the way of a good story?
I know.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
And I gotta tell you, I feel like an asshole even talking about it because I believe, not to get all sociological and shit, but I believe that when you grew up in the suburbs and you never thought about money, it's very easy to say, my life isn't about money. My life's never been about money. I was never rich. My parents drove a Ford Taurus, but I also never worried about money, ever. It wasn't a thought like, oh, you want to go to camp? You're going to camp. You want to do? I never. You want to go to a baseball game? We're going to a baseball game.
No wonder you're so lazy.
Exactly. But I'm serious. I never thought about money. So it's weird when I hear people say it's all about money. I'm like, but and then what? Like, that's not that. Money's cool, but that's not it. That's not joy.
Facts.
Freedom. It should be it's all about the freedom. Because the freedom to do what you want in life, which is what money affords people oftentimes, but not always.
Not always.
Because there's some people who are rich as shit and work every day 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and to me that's not fucking life either.
Definitely.
It should be all about the financial freedom. Let's be.
It doesn't sound as good.
I guess it won't ring off in the club the same.
That's definitely not gonna pop in the club.
Financial freedom.
Nah.
It's all about
That's
yo, let's get in. Yo, good talk. Give it up for Murda, man. Good talk.
Let's go.
We're gonna get into the song that he stole.
Shout out to Mad Skillz, man. But I think I'm gonna take it from here now on every year.
Sorry, Skillz, I love you.
So you gonna take it for good?
I'm just mean the people been hitting me up on Twitter, on Instagram.
Murda just wants to, you know him. He stole something. He don't have no problem.
Yeah,
he took the man's chain. He's gonna wear the man's chain and be like, yo, this is your chain. And
we want all the attention up here. We start something new up here. GMG ATM, man.
Yo, man, thank you for coming by, man. Always a good talk.
Definitely, man. And I wanted my guy Reef to just talk to y'all for a minute. Reef is the producer that actually produced the records. The guy I was telling you about. Who
we gotta give him some shine. We gotta give him some shine.
We gotta give my boy some shine.
But you gotta interview him because I don't know him like that. What you want to interview him about?
Come on.
Yo,
set him up.
Yo, Reef, come here.
We gonna set you up.
Reef. Where you from? Brooklyn. What part?
Brownsville.
Okay, I like it. And how'd you meet this individual?
No, I want to ask this first. Can we ask first?
Okay.
Biggest records you produced. What are these records that he said you did?
Talk your shit.
One Blood for Gang.
Woo! That's a big one. Kind of scotching.
Hard.
What else?
Understand who I'm working with here.
What else? What else you got?
What else?
Ice Cold, Rick Ross, What a Shame, Rick Ross. The whole
Fab, Brick Cafe, Hottest in the Hood.
You did Hottest in the Hood?
Yeah.
Yeah, that beat was super.
Tight.
That beat was.
And how did you
tough.
two link up?
To a good friend of mine's, Cooch.
And is this guy shit as good as he says?
Great.
Great.
Yo, Reef, let me tell you something. You're a quiet giant. You're not the best interview in the world.
Yo,
just put it to you right
Murda,
now.
keep doing the interviews and let this man make the beats for God's sake.
Just let him make the beats, man. Come on, man.
I just want the people to get familiar with his face and his name. I put my boy out there.
Yeah, it's all good. Thank you, man.
Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah, 2014 was crazy. Whoa! I heard Puff put hands on Drake. Troy Ave got the Tuesday kid punched in the face. Chris Brown went on Instagram and told us that his girl fucked Drake. The gram took niggas' followers, they violated Mace. They took 1.5 million, I seen this shit. Damn. Mason so embarrassed, he deleted his shit. Damn. J. Cole sold 360 his first week. Nicki broke up with Safari and start fucking me. I think Lil Wayne don't wanna fuck with Baby. But that contract he signed got him stuck with Baby. Whoa. I say shit that make niggas think. 5 niggas told me came and sell pussy sticks. I still hit it. Seen Bobby Smurda on Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. Now they got him on Rocket Salad. Crazy. Free the whole GS9. Rowdy. The Lord hates seeing niggas shine. What they won't say, I'ma write it. 2 cops got killed cause 2 cops ain't get indicted. They took everything.